good morning or good afternoon, and welcome to another computer science tutorial in which we will talk about how to create a small grocery list to test out the features in Microsoft Excel and see how we can do it in a very fun way. So let's get to it. Now, I'm over here in Excel already. You can do this either in the app or in Microsoft Excel online, whichever you have available. The first thing we're going to do once you open a new workbook will be put the title in. And we're going to put, in my case, Angel's Grocery List because that's my name, right? Angel. So put your name and then Grocery List. Then we want to have a few columns, starting with one that will list our items, right? So we want this table to give to tell the description of the item, the name of the item, what's the price of the item, the amount of each item, and how much will be the total cost for every item and their amount. And then how much money would we need to buy all of that. So let's go ahead and do that. The first thing we need would be a column for numbering these items. And we want to start from number 1 all the way to number 10. Remember, you can do this automatically by selecting the pattern, going right here to this little block. You see how my mouse transformed into this cross? Then you grab it with your click and you drag it down all the way until number 10. So that'll be continuing the pattern that you have here with 1, 2, 3. You already know what numbers come next, right? And now, we use the pound symbol for that column because we can use that for numbers as well. And then we have the column for the item names. So let's go ahead and call it item. So what will be our item? We could put here, like for example, our favorite cereal, which mine is Cocoa Pebbles, obviously. So here. You could also put a gallon of milk, for example, and so on. You can ask your parents and think about what things do your parents usually buy when they go to do groceries. Now, after the item, we also want to get the price. So if you don't know the price of one of these items, you can either ask your parents how much it is, or even better, if you just go over to Google right here and type down and ask Google, what is the price of a certain or particular item? Like for example, we want the Cocoa Pebble price. So we go over here, it says Walmart.com. With some items, the price may vary because remember, in the United States, there are some things that are cheaper or more expensive than here in Puerto Rico. Now, over here, we have the price in Walmart in United States, of course, which is very similar to the one here. $3.12 in this case, right? So let's go over and put that amount, $3.12, right next to our item in the price column that we just made right here. So 3.12. We're missing something though, right? So we're talking about money, just not just any decimal number. So we need to select that cell and go over here. Select the currency because it is money that we're talking about. So let's go over and select the one for United States because that is the currency that we use. Now, so one thing you could do is find for a chopper or something that you can use to find out the prices of different items in here in Puerto Rico. Now, there might be some items that will be very hard to find, in which case you can just ask your parents for their price, as I said earlier. So let's go ahead and type the price of the item, gallon of milk, 6.50. 5, and look at that. Since it's a 0 after the 5, right, it vanishes. It just disappears, but it's still 6.50. But once you put the currency to English United States, the dollar symbol right here, automatically it gives you the 0 back, alright? Now, we want the amount of each item, which in this case, I want, let's say, 2 boxes of Cocoa Pebbles and 1 gallon of milk. And there we go. And that's what I'm gonna buy for now. Remember that you should do the same thing for all of your 10 items. Okay, now that I have the price, the item, the price, and the amount, I want to find out how much it would be in total for that particular item. Right, for Cocoa Pebbles, how much money do I need just for those 2 boxes of Cocoa Pebbles? So the way that we get that total is by getting the price, and if 1 box is $3.12, 2 boxes, we have to get how much it would be for 2 boxes. We need to multiply the price times the amount. So let's go ahead and try that. We're gonna say that this cell is going to be equal to, by writing the equal sign, it's going to be, let me zoom in for you, right, just in case. It's better if we go ahead, there we go. So it's going to be equal to the price times, I selected the cell, look at that, D4, which contains the price for the Cocoa Pebbles, times with the little star representing multiplication, the cell that contains the amount of Cocoa Pebble boxes. So we have price times amount. That's good. D4 times E4. Now let's just go ahead and press enter, and automatically you will see the result. So for Cocoa Pebbles we need $6.24. Now let's do the same thing here with the gallon of milk. So we put equal to the price by clicking on it times the amount of that item. So there we go. So any number multiplied by 1 gives the same number. Because it's only 1 gallon of milk and its price is $6.50, well, we gotta pay $6.50 for that 1 gallon. Now, you're gonna do that with all of your items, and remember, since you did it with an equation, that means that whenever you change the amount or the price, automatically the total will change too. Check this out. If now I say, instead of 2 Cocoa Pebble boxes, I want to have a whole arsenal, and I want 10. I go ahead and type 10. Dun dun, so I never run out of Cocoa Pebbles. Then it gives me the result right here, $31.20. But I'm going to be realistic, as so should you. I'm going to put 2, just 2, because they run out really quick. Then in the end, right after all of these 10 items, you're gonna have the total right here. So let's format this a little bit by adding borders and color as you did with your schedule. Alright, now that we understand the table a little bit better, thanks to our formatting it, remember you can do this in your own personal way. Be creative. Put the colors that you want, as long as they don't stop you from understanding the words inside those cells. Now, let's go ahead and add right here the total as a separate little cell, total price of everything, right? Put 2 dots. I'm going to expand this column a little bit just because I want that to fit perfectly. There we go. And now right here we're going to put the total price of all the items and their amounts. So the total of all the items, we want to add them all together. So there are 2 ways of doing this. The first and longest way would be to use the equal sign, and in the same way that you multiplied 2 cells, you can do the same thing for 2 or more with addition. So what we would change would be instead of a star, it would be the plus symbol to add. So let's select the first one, plus the second one, plus the third one, plus the fourth one, etc. And when you press enter, it will give you the result. Now, the shortest way and the coolest way is the following. You go ahead and I deleted what I have now, and I'm going over here to this icon on the top right that looks like an E, right? So when you click on it, on the little arrow, you will see sum, average, count, and all these functions right here, and you have way more if you want to search them. But we're going to use the sum function. It's going to be to add a specific range. So from one cell to another cell, all of those cells in between. So in this case, when I put it, automatically it selects the ones on top, the whole column actually, from F4 all the way down to F13. And you can see that over here. So we're going to, this cell is going to be equal to the sum of all the cells between F4 all the way to, that's why these two dots are here, all the way to F13. And now we press enter, and we have automatically the result. So if we add any values here, it's going to automatically change the value. Now, whenever you see this, just in case you see this during your program at any given moment, that is because there is not enough space to show you the number that is there. So it's like an error. So let's go over here and expand the column just like you would do with words. Expand it a little bit until it fits a little bit more, and there we go. You see, it's way too big of a number, and that's why it didn't show. Now, go ahead and try it out. I hope this video was very helpful for you guys. I hope you were able to understand what functions to do and what you have to do for the assignment. Thank you, and have a nice day.